All right, shalom, shalom.
Shalom.
GMS Louisiana Saints, the Lafayette Camp, back at you with another live lesson. Before we go any further, we already facing the east. We're going to give infinite honors and praises to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Arakakadash.
Double honors to the Apostle Great Millstone, who rule well and teach well, and worthy of the double honors. Peace and blessings to you, Akim, pushing out this truth across the four corners during these last sections of time, man. And as you can see, all right, we're in the year of the turn up, man, 2022, and the year is explaining just that, man. You have the Roe v. Wade decision that has just been overturned today, all right? You have pandemonium in the streets of America. You have gas prices raising to an all-time high. You have diesel shortages, all right? You have a nation divided, man. And we're going to go into those topics, and Lord willing, and be edifying through the Spirit, all right? You got it, brother.
All right, this is Matthew 12 and 25. It says, and Yahweh Shai knew their thoughts and said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation.
Right, and that's talking about America, man. Every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation. So America is going to be brought to desolation just as the Roman Empire was, man, because this is spiritual Rome, all right? Holding the captives of so-called Native Americans, Latinos, and Negroes. And in this captivity, we clearly see a division, man. All right, you have the Roe v. Wade decision that was put into effect several decades ago that basically legalized the right to have an abortion, right? So now you see several years later, several decades later, that decision being overturned, man, to now illegalize the right to have an abortion. And it's causing a major uproar in these American streets. You got it out.
And then they said, one of the things that inspired them or motivated them to overturn that Roe v. Wade was that they said that the Constitution doesn't support abortion. So you mean to tell me all these decades that abortion's been legal, that you people at the Supreme Court never looked to see whether or not the Constitution supported this act or not? That shows you people that you're all full of, shit.
Yeah, man, and hypocrisy, man, because all the lawyers, the top lawyers, right, attorney generals, judges, politicians you have within the American justice system, none of you found the error in the Constitution, man, like the brother said. Come on, man. This society is collapsing before our very eyes, and these things that are going on are merely testaments to what's to come ahead. You got it, I got a quick one for y'all, just backing the money up. Psalm 64 and 8, it says, so they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. And that's this American society, man. That's this beast system. It says one thing and does another. It does one thing and says another, man. You can never tell a clear code of what's going on in this place because there's so much confusion going on, man. All right? So now you have over there in Washington, D.C., District of Columbia, you have what? The Roe v. Wade decision that's been overturned, man, at the Supreme Court. But this decision is going to be a domino effect on this society because now you have little girls, you have families, you have mothers, all right? You have different communities that say, oh, well, we want the right to have an abortion, to murder. So they're against this Constitution. And you even have those that have even gone out there and gotten abortions, all right, killed their child, killed their seed, that's going against it and saying, well, you know what, this is a good thing. Look at it. Look at what I went through. Look at how having an abortion has been detrimental and has destroyed my life, man. So this whole society is divided. Go ahead, your brother gonna bring out the NLT. Mm-hmm. Unless you have one. All right, you got it.
All right. It's again. This is Matthew's 12 and 25, and Yahweh Shai knew their thoughts and said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand.
Right, America, Rome, Greece, Media, Persia, those kingdoms were divided against itself, man. All right? The children of Israel were divided against themselves, but it took the Most High to come and bring us back to our law, statutes, and commandments, man. That stick, man. All right? That's what we are today, defending the name of Yahweh Shai Shai in the flesh here in America and across the four corners, man. That's why this place is coming to its knees. America is being brought to its knees by the Lord, man. and it's going to be brought down and made desolate because, like it tells you in Isaiah, um, make the leg bare, man. Uncover the locks. That's what the prophets have done to this society, man. Starting with the apostle great millstone on down to the least of us. Go ahead,
It says, and if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand?
You got it right.
All right. So if you have a people or a nation of people, all right, that are against each other, all right, how can they stand together, man? All right, how can their kingdom thrive? All right, because the scriptures say, how can two walk together except they be agreed? So if they're not agreed, man, eventually what they're gonna fuss, they're gonna fight, all right, they're gonna have disagreements, man, all right, and that's what you see that America has right now, man, disagreements, man, all right, one side,
Quarrels,
yeah,
disputes, can't come to terms on things, man. That's what the society is made up of right now, man. A bunch of dumb, negligent individuals in office that are higher ups above the men of the Lord, man. But that's the position that the Most High has put us in right now, but for a short time. Go ahead, Amani.
You want to continue making your point?
I'm finished up
All right. All right, now this is Matthew 12 and 25 in the NLT. It says, Yahushua knew their thoughts and replied, any kingdom divided by civil war is doomed. A town or family splintered by feuding will fall apart. We'll speak on that.
Yeah, man. Any one more time, Mike? Bring it out one more time.
God. Matthew 12 and 25 in the NLT. Yahushua knew their thoughts and replied, any kingdom divided by civil war.
By civil war. And the brother's going to get the definition of that, man. So this kingdom of America is going to be divided by what? Civil war, man. All right? Go ahead, up. You got it? Go ahead, bring it out, Doc.
You want to read it one more time, Mike?
Yeah. I'm going to read that specific part one more time. It says, Yahushua knew their thoughts and replied, any kingdom divided by civil war is doomed.
That's right. In the definition of civil war, it says a war between citizens of the same country, man. All right? So that's what civil war is, man. People that are in disagreements in the same country coming up against each other fighting. All right? Causing, chaos, man. All right? In the streets. And that's ultimately what it's going to come down to, man, in these last days, man. It's going to progressively get worse. All right?
You got any more?
That's it on the definition.
All right. I got a cool one on it. This is Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 31. It says, therefore, behold, I am against thee, O thou most proud, said the Lord Yahweh of hosts, for thy day is come, the time that I will visit thee. And the Most High is against America, man, against this system, all right, against the EU and the NATO, all right. It's against the culture of this society, man, because it uplifts nothing but wickedness, nothing but death, all right, nothing but rape, nothing but robbing, nothing but murder, man. So the Most High is going to dismantle this, and in place of this wickedness, He's going to promote righteousness, which you see a visualization on the planet Earth right now, which are the men of the Lord, man. But we're going to be promoted even more into righteousness in the kingdom, man, established in the Yahushua. Verse 32, it says, and the most proud shall stumble and fall, and none shall raise him up, and I will kindle a fire in his cities. And I will kindle a fire in his cities, and it shall devour all round about. And that's going to be a fire based upon these what the brother just read, that civil war, the uprising of the people. All right, you're going to see Egyptian versus Egyptian, like the scriptures say.
Got it right here.
And it's also a literal fire is going to be here. You're going to see buildings getting burned down, man. These high quarters where these legislations and these decrees are being made in, they're going to burn these places down to the ground, man. Like the scriptures say, they're not going to regard any kings or princes those days. So why would they regard any buildings that house these kings or princes, man? They're trying to get to you politicians, man. You mayors, you aldermen, you governors, you attorney generals, man. This is all scriptural, man. We're not making any threats against you all All right. We're saying that the Most High is going to deliver the children of Israel, the persecuted and oppressed from the society via these prophecies. Go ahead, Al.
Now this is Isaiah chapter 19, verse 2. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight every one against his brother, and every one against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom.
That's right, man. Can you bring it out one more time, my brother?
Isaiah chapter 19, verse 2. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians.
That's right. The Egyptians are the modern day Americans, man. All right. All right. The Americans that you see here today, man. All right. You got it.
It says, and they shall fight every one against his brother, and every one against his neighbor.
That's right, man. You got division amongst households, man. All right. You have people that live with each other that disagree on certain things, man, within their own household. So guess what? They're going to fight against each other, man. All right. You have people that live in the same neighborhood. All right. When they get together, they congregate together. What, man? They drink a little. They express themselves, and what they reveal what they really into, man. Right? And they into what? They into getting into disagreements, man.
Yeah.
Right? Oh, he believes in that, but he believes in that. All right? You really believe, you can't believe that he believes in, so forth and so on, man. All right? You got it up.
I got a quick one back here. It was Matthew 10 and 35. For I am come to set a man at variance against his father, and the daughter against her mother, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. And a man's foe shall be they of his own household, because within the household you got dad that supports. He says, "Oh, baby girl, if you don't want that child, you don't have to have that child." Now you got mom that says, "Oh no, we're gonna keep that baby. We're gonna raise that child." And you got the sister, brother. They all on different accords as well. So you have a house divided, and it grows from your own households to the school systems, the education system, the religious systems, the government systems, the military. They're all divided, man. So when you see a division amongst all these arenas, you see a collapse in the whole entire system, man. Like the script, like this, it tells you, um, the bigger they are, the harder they fall, man. America is a great kingdom upon the planet Earth. That's why the scripture speaks of it as that whore upon many waters. So it's going to take a lot for this place to get dragged down and brought to its knees. And we're seeing a lot of historical events that we've never seen in our lifetimes, man. All right, happen. We've never seen gas this high. We've never seen Roe v. Wade get overturned, man. All right, we never seen like the brothers gonna bring out these articles, these abortion clinics get closed and people go home early, man. But the Most High has something special in plan for Louisiana in particular, man, because this place is overly wicked, man. The cup running over with wickedness in this place, man. You walk through on a regular day, you'll see a mo twerking on a damn telephone pole, man. While you trying to drive and get to your place of business, man, or wherever you work or live at, man. Panhandling, women and men selling box on these corners, man. Straight demons, man. You got it, bro.
Yeah, a little bit more on that
You got
Isaiah
it,
19.
bro.
Isaiah 19, verse 2. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight every one against his brother, and every one against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom.
Right.
So like, no, you got it, Doc. Yeah, you got the right to speak before me.
All right. So can you read that latter part one more time, my brother?
It says, they shall fight every one against his brother, and every one against his neighbor, city against city, kingdom against kingdom.
That's right, city against city, man. All right. You have different cities, man, within the states, man. All right, but here in parishes, nevertheless, it's the same thing, man. All right, Lafayette versus I don't know, Crowley, Rain, all these different cities that are nearby, man. All right, what they're gonna be fighting against each other, man. All right, they're gonna, like I said, a kingdom divided against itself, man. All right, two brothers have it.
Yeah, state versus state, Louisiana versus Texas, because you got certain states that are red states, certain states that are blue states. It's going to be all out war. And then you have different, like, we got family in different states, right? family member tries to go to another state to see another family member, that's null and void, man. It's not gonna be like that for too much longer, man. You're gonna have checkpoints at these borders, checkpoints at the beginning where you say, "Oh, welcome to Oklahoma, welcome to Texas." You're gonna see a fleet of law enforcement there, waiting to see if you got that crime, waiting to see if you got identification, if you're where you're supposed to be, and if not, you're gonna be detained and brought in, man. You got it, huh?
Yeah. This is a quick precept to back up everything that we're bringing out, concerning division and disagreements and things like that, right? Now, this is 2nd Ezra, chapter 6, verse 24. At that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. The springs of the fountains shall stand still, and in 3 hours they shall not run. And so friends, okay, people, in this world, with their friends or whatever, whom they think are their friends right now, eventually, when things get, real bad, okay, they're going to be fighting against each other, and especially how much more when these food shortages hit. Like it just says, at that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies. So friends are going to soon turn into foes because of what? Because iniquity is going to be abound so much throughout society. The love of many is going to wax cold very, very soon. You want to say something?
Yeah, because like the brother was saying, man, you'll know who your true friends are, and your true friends are in these last days by what? Adversity, man. All right. And the brothers that we around right now, man, Lord willing, we stick together, man. All right, to the end, to the cheerleaders. All right, but we know the rest of the people in the world, man, they don't have these scriptures, man. They don't have the Bible, all right, to unite them. All right, like the scriptures unite us, man. All right, so we know that they're what? They're not gonna come in. They're not gonna hold together, man. All right.
Yeah, appreciate it. You got it.
All right. This is 2nd Ezra 13 and 31. And one shall undertake to fight against another. All right. So people fighting against other people. All right. It says one city against another, one place against another, one people against another, and one realm against another, man. All right? Again, going into that division, man. Going into those race wars, man. Going into that civil war, man. All right? All these things are going to take place, all right, in the earth, man. And we're seeing it, all right? We're seeing these people, spirits getting stirred up, and the Lord is working on the minds of these Americans, and they're starting to act out what the scriptures say. All right, pertaining to prophecy. What you brothers have it?
Yes or no?
Let's see. Let's see.
I got a quick one. And you can get Habakkuk 1 and 4 in the NLTR.
Hmm.
This Habakkuk 1 and 4 says, "Therefore the law is slacked, and judgment doth never go forth. For the wicked doth compass about the righteous, therefore wrong judgment proceeded." And that's all you see here in America, man. Wrong judgment going out and proceeding, man. Errors. How many people we see spend 20, 30 years in jail and evidence comes out that they were innocent the whole entire time, man. Wasted their whole life. You steal so much as a stick of gum here in Esau society, he's gonna throw you under the jail, man. But his wickedness could overflow, man. His cup could overthrow, man. That's what we're seeing, man. It's nothing but wrong judgment going out, man. And that's why you see a case like Roe v. Wade, which was unjust in the first place, man, which legalized abortion in the first place, man. For decades upon decades, now you can see, well, America, its tongue is falling upon itself, so they're saying, okay, well, maybe if we illegalize it, we'll have a better case and say, okay, well, we're not for this. But nah, man, your track record proves who you really are, America. You're not for the so-called Native Americans, Latinos, and Negroes. You're for yourself, man. Start with you Rothschilds, you top upper echelon Chaldeans, man. You're for yourself. You're for continuing your lineage, man. That's why you marry within your line. All right, you have sex within your line, and keep that because ultimately on the left hand side they know about reincarnation, man. All right, They know about the theory of reincarnation of coming back, man, and a lot. So that's what they try to do on the left hand side. But it's nothing but wickedness, man, and disorder. You got it, huh?
All right. This is Habakkuk 1 verse 4 in the NLT. It says, "The law has become paralyzed, and there is no justice in the courts."
Paralyzed. And what's paralyzed mean? Immovable, not movable, man. All right. Handicapped. So if a law is immovable, handicapped, it doesn't go anywhere, then how can it bring forth justice, man? How can it bring forth anything that's righteous? That's what you see with all the entire the Constitution, man. The Constitution is wickedness, it's madness, man, and it's being exposed at an all-time high, man. That all these laws and procedures that you put out and for the planet Earth, Esau, for us to abide by all these amendments, right? Which means basically subject to change. You're going back on your word, man. You got it, huh?
All right, this is a quick one, real quick. This is James 1 and 8. It says, "A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways." All right, so Esau is unstable in all his ways, man. He so-called make these laws, all right, and sign these documents, all right, to so-called give you these rights, all right, setting up certain things for the people, but ending up down the line, he ended up changing them, man. All right, and then that's what you have here now, man. Not that the law that was passed is wrong or anything, all right, which is right because what is that they're against life, man. All right, but the point is that there was laws that was established that was to benefit people, but Esau came back and broke those treaties, man. All right, he broke those treaties to get the upper hand, all right, over Gad, man. All right, and a lot of other people, man, throughout the lines, man. All right, with these other nations. All right, that's why the nations are mad at you, Esau. All right, because of what you done, what you brothers have.
You can get that article up. Roe v. Wade, the 13 trigger states. Louisiana is one of the trigger states, man. So all hell is gonna break loose here in Louisiana, man. And there's certain places around America, the United States, that are just gonna get hit worse, man. Hit brutal, and Louisiana is one of them, man. Because all you see all day long on the streets of Louisiana is nothing but bugness, man. Our people just totally bugged out in zombie mode, man. So the Lord is going to deal with this place, man. I got a quick one. You was done on that, Amaya?
No, they had a little bit more.
Go ahead, and then you can read after.
Give me a second. All right, Habakkuk chapter 1, verse 4 in the NLT. "The law has become paralyzed, and there is no justice in the courts. The wicked far outnumber the righteous, so that justice has become perverted."
Right, man. Because when you go in a court of law, the wicked outnumbers the righteous. You have a council of judges, which are not for you. You got a council of attorneys, a council of court reporters, law clerks, all right, different witnesses and testimony, but they're not for you. They're for the betterment of Esau's system, man. When you go into that book of law in the courtroom, you don't go into the King James version of the Bible. You don't go into Exodus. You don't go into Leviticus. You don't go into Numbers. You don't go into Deuteronomy and say, okay, we're going to judge you by this, all right, and you're going to get this amount of that time. This is your penalty. Nah, man, they go into their code of ethics, their code of law. In Louisiana in particular, you have Napoleonic law, which means they deal with a strict code of law, which you go into a book and you read a fine, for example, you'll read the civil code number for murder, first degree, second degree, manslaughter, attempted murder, things like that. But under those codes, you have penalties and fines. This how many ever fined, this how many years in prison. But it's all catered and targeting you so-called Native Americans, Latinos, and Negroes, man. And if you read into it, you look into it in the Latin, it'll show you this, man. This is not for our people, man. These laws are meant to trap our people in snares and swallow them whole, man, while they're in the society. Just like that Roe v. Wade decision, all right? It was meant to destroy our people, man. Legalizing abortion, because Esau already knew he had the so-called black woman in his back pocket, man. All right? When he took the so-called Negro out of the home and gave the black woman WIC, welfare, food stamps, government aid, he knew he had us, man. Now, when he wants to so-called overturn it for his benefit, now he's illegalizing it because he wants all anarchy, all pandemonium on these streets, man, to throw in his agenda when it's convenient for him, man. But it's ultimately convenient for the Most High because the Most High working through all things, man. All right? Go ahead, got a quick one after y'all brothers, too.
That was it on the NLT.
All right, I got a quick one real quick. All right. It's Proverbs. It's Proverbs 21:1. All right. And it reads, bear with me. All right. It's the book of Proverbs chapter 21, verse 1. It says, the king's heart, meaning so-called Joseph Biden, you Supreme Court justices, because you looked at as a king as well, man. Kamala Harris, Vladimir Putin, all right, King Jong-un, Donald Trump. Your heart, which is your mind, is in the hands of the Most High. So whether you vote 6-4, 2-4, whatever it may be, all right, 5-5, 4-6, that was the Most High's decision, man. That wasn't your decision, Esau, to legalize abortion. That was the Most High's decision because, first off, you decree unrighteous decrees, Esau. So this society ain't working off what you think is going to come to pass. It's working off what the Lord does, man. But it says, as the rivers of water, he turneth it whatsoever he will. And the Most High clearly turned this decision whatsoever he will, man. 1 minute it was legalized for abortion. Decades later, when we're about to get out of here, ironically, like they say, but not ironically, during the year of prophecy, the year of turn up, right? It's overturned, man. In the month of June, when you have the alphabet, this is the alphabet crew month. This is Juneteenth, which is another Black History so-called month for our people. All right, you got July 4th coming up. So all these things are not happening by coincidence, man. This is prophecy. Go ahead, y'all. Y'all better got one.
Let's see. I got one. This also in the book of Isaiah 19, and I'm going to jump down to verse 14. It says, the Lord hath mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof. So right now, in the midst of this spiritual Egypt, as well as this spiritual Sodom, you know, we as the men of the Lord, the hopeful elect of the Lord, are living, you know, every day in the midst of a perverse spirit that's going, you know, round and about throughout America, Babylon the Great, you know, which is also referred to as Egypt in this chapter. Okay, Isaiah 19, verse 14, the Lord hath mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and they have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof, as a drunken man staggereth in his vomit. So,
right.
You want to speak on
right, bro? Yeah, because that's how the society is. Man. The society is like a drunken man that staggers. It's unstable, man. You hear people, you wind down the crack of your window just to be like, all right, I'm gonna save my AC for a little while. Let me wind my window down for a little bit, just to get some air. You just hear madness going on in the air, man. Wicked vibration. Somebody screaming, somebody yelling. It's just madness, man. This place is unstable, man. And when something is unstable, all right, that's why, like it tells you in the scriptures, take balm for her, heal her, if so she may be healed. When a place is unstable, either it's going to shake back and get right, or it's going to fall to pieces, man. And we know the latter is going to happen to America, the United States. Our brothers got it.
That's pretty much it on that. You got it on the watch.
All right. Want to get the article out?
Yeah, you can read it.
All right. This is from Business Insider. It says the first 13 and the state's trigger laws, abortion rights are now history. This is how we got here, and the chaos that comes next. All right, that's the headline. It says on Friday, June 24th,
Today, go ahead.
the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade, shattering an established constitutional right and the lives of millions of Americans.
That's right, man. One more time, man.
All right, it says on Friday, June 24th, the Supreme Court overturned the Roe v. Wade, shattering and uh, established constitutional right in the lives of millions of Americans.
That's right, man. And the lives of millions of Americans, man. So shattering it meaning what? This place, after this overturning of Roe v. Wade, is going to take a whole different shift, man. The environment, the atmosphere, like me and the brothers are going into, all right, this place is going to take a turn for the worse, man. This overturning of Roe v. Wade turned this place up a notch, man, because not only does that mean that people that so-called are seeking an abortion, they can't get one, but that means that if you're pregnant right now and you're thinking about getting an abortion, you can't get one, man. Through all the way around, man. And it's gonna list, I believe, in that article, some of the other trigger states, man. Because Louisiana is one of them, and it's rightfully so, man. This place is full of wickedness. It's full of poverty, man. It's full of deceit and abominable acts, man. You got it, man.
All right, it says legislators in numerous states are posted to quickly eliminate abortion rights in the wake of an uproar, but the fate of women and trans and non-binary
Right,
women,
Transformers. One more time, Mark.
it says, but but trans and non-binary,
Yeah, just say
non-binary,
Transformers.
trans,
Yeah,
transformers,
right.
all right, it is seated in 13 with abortion trigger laws: Alaska, Idaho, Kentucky, Louisiana, Mississippi, Missouri, North Dakota, South Dakota, Tennessee, Utah, Texas, Oklahoma, and Wyoming.
Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Tennessee, mostly southern states in that area, all right, which are a lot of the red states as well, man. So all hell is going to break loose in this place, man, all right? You got these so-called Republicans, these rednecks, these Proud Boys. They ain't going for that, man. They ain't going for that overturning the Roe v. Wade, man. That's not going to sit well with them, man, all right? Because they already had enough of you going back and forth with these other policies and these other laws. You saw the gun laws, certain things like that, man. They're tired of the back and forth and the division in this place, man. So you know what's gonna settle it? All out war, man. Civil War, Cold War. It's gonna be a whole, like the brother read, Second Edges 13, different wars: city versus city, state versus state, community versus community, Republicans versus Democrats. All right, you're gonna have Jake versus Esau. And then ultimately you're gonna have Yahweh Shem Yahushai, and the holy angels versus Esau, Edom, and these other nations in their militaries, man. That's why it says realm versus another realm, man. Go ahead, bro.
It says at the bottom here, it says the highest court action will ban abortion automatically. Insiders spent months investigating how we got here, identifying the politicians who pushed these bans and the corporations.
One more time, man. The last part.
It says how we got here, identifying the politicians who pushed these bans and the corporations that bankroll their efforts.
Right. Identifying them, and guess what? They want to put a face. They want to put a name to a face with these people that decree these creeds. These people that are so-called pro-abortion, pro-life, anti-abortion. They want to put a face to these names, man, because they're gonna come out and looking for you, man.
Oh yeah, definitely.
They want to seek and identify you. They don't want to identify you to say, okay, well, next time you get in the office, we want you to do better. Nah, they want your life, man. Because not only have you affected their livelihood, you affected their generations to come. So now, Eve, Edomite, who has a daughter, she feels like, okay, well, my daughter, when she grows up, she won't be. What if she gets raped? What if certain circumstances happen? She won't be able to go get an abortion, man. They're thinking about it in that way as well, man. So you can't get away from this judgment, Esau. And you wicked, Louisiana got some of the most dirty, left-handed, crooked, wicked politicians, wicked sheriffs, wicked mayors, wicked judges. All right, and over the years, you've been exposed, man, through this Urim and World Wide Web, the Most High has exposed you, man, for what you actually doing behind the scenes. You not only all that dressing up in a suit and tie, that bullshit is out the window, man. Oh, we're gonna serve some just all those press conferences where you see a bunch of people in suits. You got the police behind them saying we're gonna come and serve justice. The people ain't looking for your protection no more, Esau. Because now that you legalized abortion, you turn your back against the bulk of the society. And even they had a news clip that was saying that after this decree went out, Joe Biden, Sleepy Joe, he was mad. He was upset, man. He was infuriated. Yeah, he was infuriated about this, man. Because he said, and he even made a quote. He said, "Never in a time in American history has this happened, man." And he's right, man. Because never in a time in American history has it gotten to a point where this society is coming to a total collapse and it's nothing nobody can do. But this is not just a reception. It's not temporary, man. It's not a temporary band-aid. It's a grieving sword that's getting wider and wider until it destroys this place. Y'all brothers got it. Slide on.
You want me to continue?
You got it.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, you got something.
Got a little bit more. It says we filed record requests and made hundreds of calls, only to find that most public agencies and major employees in these states have failed to prepare for the radical new reality that awaits us.
Right. They failed to get that other article too, and read that last part again. They failed to prepare for the radical reality that awaits you. Meaning, you got phones running off the hook right now at the Supreme Court. You got phones running off the hook right now at these local municipalities. These judges' offices saying, "What are you going to do about this new Roe v. Wade?" You got grandma calling. What are you going to do about this? You got auntie calling off the hook, man, saying, how can we fix this place? But there's no healing for this place, man. Babylon is finished. It's numbered. The Most High number, like it tells you in Daniel, this kingdom has been numbered and finished, man. It's been weighed in a balance, and we're clearly seeing a influx of wickedness. All right, and this place is going to be soon destroyed. You got the New Orleans one, and that's backing up the article that the brother Kayat posted from what happened to the abortion clinics in New Orleans, man. What's actually going on there? And this was today, man. Go ahead.
All right. This is New Orleans abortion clinics closed. Workers sent home after Roe v. Wade overturned.
So the clinics closed. The workers were sent home. And if you think about an abortion clinic, it caters to killing children, getting fixed. Like Eve likes to say, "Oh, I got fixed. I got it taken care of." So that abortion clinic was closed early, and the workers were sent home. Why? Because this decision was overturned. Not only because it was overturned, but because of the safety of those that work within that office, man. Oh, hey, we just need there might be some backlash from this. You know, we work in a clinic that we help people kill their children, so they're gonna come for us, man. So they was thinking strategic a little bit, but it's gonna happen all across the four corners, man. And especially here in America, it's gonna go up, man. You got it. That's like you can get that article out.
The one you just read?
Yeah.
All right,
No, the one I just sent you. The other one.
Yeah. You got some more on it?
Yeah, I do.
You go ahead. You can read it. Elaborate on it.
All right. This is the latter of it. It says we also spoke with people across the 13 trigger law states about their fears and expectations from them at once. Unimaginable future will arrive within days, man. So meaning that these people are going to these people, all right, that are in disagreement with this law that just now passed, all right, that they're going to cause these uproars, man. They're going to cause these civil wars, man. All right, they're not sure what's going to happen, man. All right. So right now, the country is on high alert, man, to see what's going to happen next. All right, and it's all pertaining to Bible prophecy, man. All right. So we just gotta stick it out. All right, and just see what happens, man. See what the Lord has in store for the world, man. All right, and His elect. You have it up.
He's talking about this one. All right. Now, this is from NOLA.com. All right, NOLA.com. It says New Orleans abortion clinic closed. Workers sent home after Roe v. Wade overturned. All right, and like the brothers was just going into, okay, you had a particular abortion clinic located in New Orleans, Louisiana, as of earlier today, after after the decision of Roe v. Wade was overturned. Basically, that clinic, sent home its employees. Because as the brother was bringing out, Louisiana is one of the trigger states. So once a particular law is passed, okay, up there in Washington, then Louisiana is one of the first states to, you know, enforce, for lack of better words, that particular law.
Right.
In this case, abortion. All right. So it says, getting into the article, it says, after the U.S. Supreme Court overturned its Roe v. Wade decision on Friday, which is today, activists gathered outside New Orleans' only abortion clinic as workers locked its doors for the last time.
Locked his doors for the last time, man. So not only has this decision been detrimental on the lives of people that work for that abortion, it's gonna be detrimental on the system, man. Meaning you can't get no money no more in that avenue, man. Meaning what? If you get pregnant right now and you try to get an abortion, if it's not, I think Slime Bell Edwards, he's trying to implement it into where if you have like incest or rape cases, certain cases, things like that, you could actually force an abortion. He's trying to implement it into law. I was reading on it roughly what John Bell Edwards is doing. He's trying to implement it to where if you have an abortion, it'll be according to if you've been raped, brutally raped, or incest.
Right. How they
But,
gonna prove that?
yeah, right, man. So and it's not gonna be in a iron grip that's on the neck of these so-called Native Americans, Latinos, Negroes is this court system, man. Is these fines and payments. Is the way of life. Jake always say, man, I gotta go to court for this. I gotta pay this. I got a traffic fine for this. Child support this. All right, this and that. So this is a way for Esau to force that chaos, so he could come with that order of that Revelation 13 and 16, man. We're not ignorant of your devices, Esau. We know what you coming with. We know what this all means, man. That's why it's heating up, like the brother of mine was saying. It's heating up, man. It's getting real hot in this place, man. These people that you see passing behind us, these workers, these truckers, they sitting, they driving, but they don't know where they going, man. They driving, but their mindset is, man, what am I really doing? I'm clocking in, I'm clocking out, I'm driving to Morgan City, I'm driving back to Lafayette, but what the hell is really going on, man? I'm seeing all this in the media. What does it really mean, man? And you're gonna know soon what it means, man. You're gonna know that the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is gonna be poured out throughout America with these prophecies, man. And this is one of them, man. The Apostle Tahar coined this year the year of the turn up, and it's been doing everything that term embodies, man. Turning off. And we're waiting to see some detrimental effects tonight, tomorrow, the next week, the next month, the up and coming days, because not only are we having this Roe v. Wade overturned, we're in the middle of hurricane season, all right? We're in the middle of the peaking, heighten of temperatures in Louisiana, damn near power outages. All these things are looming over this place, man. And it's not looming over it for good, it's looming over it to destroy this place. You got it, I got it. Appreciate that.
Just got a little bit more on the article. It says there. Well, as a matter of fact, I'm gonna start from the beginning of the article.
Let me just read this one because I want to back your brother up because we're gonna go into it and it's gonna copy him. This is Second Esdras 9:1. It says, "He answered me and then said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest the parts of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then thou shalt understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then thou shalt well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the day Shalakia. The Most High spake of those things from the days that there were before thee, even from the beginning, man. So right now, man, we see that the Lord's prophecies are coming to pass, man. As the brother was just now saying, man, it's turning up because we're getting closer and closer to the end, which each day, man. All right, and almost each day we are seeing prophecies happen within, the news, man. All right, brothers send articles to each other. Brothers make videos on particular topics. All right, and all of these are pertaining to prophecy, man. All right, and these uproars are part of it, man. The position. That's pretty much it on that one.
You got the money.
Yeah, because backing up, well, everything the brother just said, these prophecies are how we measure the times. It's how we measure, how close we are to the second coming of Yahweh Shai. Unlike these Christians, they don't know prophecy. They don't understand prophecy. That's why when certain things happen around the world, around the country, on the news and whatnot, they bug out because, in these churches, they're not preparing, their minds for, this tribulation period that Yahweh Shai spoke of in the scriptures that would come on the earth, before his return, you know.
I got one more verse out.
Yeah.
It says, "For like all that is made in the world has a beginning, and the end, and the end is manifest, man." So we're seeing it. All right, you got it, huh?
Yeah, God, in this manifest. It says, off of NOLA.com, it says, after the U.S. Supreme Court overturned its Roe v. Wade decision on Friday, activists gathered outside New Orleans' only abortion clinic as workers locked its doors for the last time.
They quick, man. They surrounded that building. Literally targeted that building. Okay, well, and then this was pre-planned because
Yeah.
not only the prophets, but you got individuals out there, different activist groups. They watching and saying, okay, well, Roe v. Wade, they're about to make the decision on it. Let's plan to where if they overturn it, we're gonna go out there and protest. If they don't overturn it and it rules in our favor, we'll still go out there and protest. So it just so happened that the Most High put the fuel on the fire and overturned this thing, and they showed up right there to that abortion clinic, man. And you think it's just gonna be picket signs and no justice, no peace, no racist police? That's gonna turn into AK-47s. What's that? Molotov cocktails. That's how you say it, Aki?
Molotov.
Yeah, Molotov.
Yeah, Molotov. It's gonna turn into burning buildings, man. Anarchy, man. You're gonna see the Jay gonna have a governor or a mayor tied up. What was that? What was that? Boy, you pro who? Say you pro what? You anti what? And they're gonna put it in your face, man. That judgment, man. But that's ultimately gonna be the Most High dismantling this place, man, because you got Jake, shaved face, bald head. And I hate seeing Jake on the news trying to represent our people, man. Cooned out, just totally flexed out by Esau being used, man. All that is coming to naught, Aki. We almost out of here. Go ahead, Aki. You got some more?
Yeah, um, it says their reactions were visceral. A Tulane law student worried that women's rights were being systematically stripped away as a pastor prays today that babies' lives were saved.
Right, so you got different perspectives out there. Tulane law students, pastors, you got activists, journalists, whatever it may be. Some perspectives are for the overturning, some are against it, man. But that shows you the division in the society, man. All right, that shows you that this place is headed towards that camel that broke that straw that broke the camel's back, man. We almost at that point, man, and that's going to be that charagma. But we're seeing all this anarchy and pandemonium leading up to it, man. It's nothing but turmoil in these streets, man. Now you're gonna see it in the supermarket. People are gonna be talking about it. Oh, well, now we can't get no Plan B. Now it's gonna be they're gonna be getting at you women, man, and it's well deserved. Let me get this real quick. It's Isaiah 32:9. It says, "Rise up, ye women that are at ease. Hear my voice, ye careless daughters. Give ear unto my speech." Don't give ear unto the speeches of these politicians, the speeches to these judges. Give ear unto the Most High speech, man. You've been pampered and been babied by this Roe v. Wade decision for decades, man. Able to do whatever you want, be careless as you want. Go and get 4, 5, 6 abortions, ruin your body for later bearing of a child, man. Let Esau go up inside you. Like, speaking of myself, with personal testimony, I've had a relationship with the girl I was dealing with. She aborted the child, man. She told me all the gruesome pain she went through, but she did that just so she could have a chance at Esau's system, man. Just so she wouldn't be tied down by the so-called burden of a child, so she could go out and join the Navy, join the military, be a nurse, man. Do the things that Esau had provided her with. And she ended up destroying herself in the process, man. So there's millions and millions upon millions of women, so-called Eve, you so-called Latin tribes, that have gone out there and done the same things, man. Gotten the benefits of Esau society for years upon years, and now when it's backfired on you, you have something to say about it, you're gonna be destroyed, man. You careless women. You don't give a damn about these children, leaving them in hot cars, letting them drink, letting them drink fits of whiskey. In the home, right, man. You're gonna be destroyed, Eve. Especially out here in Louisiana, you see Eve, 3, 4 babies in the supermarket. She cursing one of the babies out, beating the other baby. All right, get your ass over here, you little nigga. Madness, man. The Most High is gonna come and visit you. Go ahead,
I got a quick precept. This is 1 Timothy chapter 5, verses 14 and 15. All right, verse 14. I will therefore that the younger women marry, bear children, guide the house, give none occasion to the adversary to speak reproachfully. All right, verse 15. For some are already turned aside after Satan. And so here it is, the Apostle Paul. Now, mind you, when the Apostle Paul wrote this, this was 2,000 years ago during the ancient Roman Empire. Okay, so the Apostle Paul was saying that the women during his time were turned away after Satan. Okay, how much more here in this modern day American NATO system? Okay, many, he said some women are turned aside after Satan, but nowadays, now it's many. You got women, like the brothers were going into having abortions. You have women that are openly practicing witchcraft, okay, getting into tarot card dealings and stuff like that, astrology, horoscopes, okay. But here it is, the Apostle Paul said, "For some already turned aside after Satan." And why did he say that? Because in the 14th verse, he said, "What? I would therefore that the younger women marry, bear children, guide the house, give none occasion to the adversary to speak." And basically, here it is in this 14th verse. The Apostle Paul pretty much broke down the order of a woman. A woman is supposed to marry. She's supposed to, have children and guide the house, submit to her husband and all these things. But when a woman goes against, all the things that are listed in this verse, this order, then therefore what? She's turned aside after Satan. She's following the way of the serpent, just as her forefather, her foremother, shall I say, Eve did back in the garden. Y'all brothers want to speak on that?
I got one too. This is Psalm 69 and 22. Let their table become a snare before them, and that they which have been for their welfare, let it be a trap. And let their eyes be darkened, that they see not, and make their loins continually to shake. All right. So basically, Eve has went to Esau, man, for help, man, for benefits, man.
Right.
All right. And she rejected the natural order, which is her man, her Israelite man. All right. So she went to Esau to basically be her man. All right. In the natural order of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. All right. And that in turn destroyed the Israelite family, man, because it was all by design, man. This whole women's liberation, all right, in the 60s, all right, that destroyed the
feminist movement, Me Too movement.
That's right. All right. And when you watch that's this video with that guy,
even BLM, because in BLM, what do you have over? Who's the president over BLM? She's a woman, right?
Yeah.
Eve. They said they spent $6 million on a mansion, man.
Yeah.
Come on, man. That's not helping our people, man. That's not turning our people back to the ways of the fathers. That's turning them towards what Esau could benefit from. Backing the brother Amwaz up and the brother Amaya because he read, don't give occasion to your adversary to speak over you, man. Eve loves to have Esau speak for her, man. Okay, we're gonna let him do this. That's why she's willing to be such a quick bed witch to Esau, man. Oh, they got all the power, they got all the money. That's what Eve was about. Whoever got power, whoever got money, Eve flocks to it, man. This system gives Eve power, gives her benefits of money, so she flocks to it. So that's why you see her flocking to the decision to where it was legalized. Oh, she's happy. Oh, I can't wait, I can't wait. And even now that it's illegalized, she's happy as well, man. That's why it's a nation divided. A nation divided, man, because Eve don't know what the hell to do. That's why the scriptures call her careless, man. You don't take thought for your next move or your next step. Eve don't even take thought for the next thing that's gonna come out of her mouth, man. A total emotional beast. You got it, huh?
Oh yeah, I just was gonna say on the ending of it that this guy Aaron Russo, he was going into how women's liberation wasn't the purpose. The purpose of women's liberation wasn't to give you women free rights. It was to destroy the Israelite home, all right, so that they'll be able to tax what the man and the woman, man. All right, for what greed. All right, that's what he knows that what Jake is going to be the biggest consumers, man. All right, he knows that Jake is going to be participating in anything that they throw out there, man, because they got Stockholm syndrome, man. All right, so what you brothers have to throw out?
Yeah. And he knows, he knew when this first decision was for Roe v. Wade to legalize abortion, he knew that it was going to target Jakes.
Yep.
Now he knows even more that when he illegalizes, it's going to target Jakes now because the main ones that are getting abortions, getting Plan Bs, that whole Plan B culture. How many rappers rap about getting Plan Bs, man? In our culture, so called, right? That's embedded in our culture. Oh, get a Plan B, put a Plan B in her water, da da da. You know how Jake is, man. That's embedded in our culture, man. You don't hear Edomites going out and rapping about getting Plan Bs, making her go get an abortion, doing different tricks. Jake even got tricks up his sleeve to do certain things to trigger that baby dies inside of that woman, man. So we need mercy, man. We need the Lord to get us up out of here, man. We tired of this, man. There's nothing but confusion. This confusion is vexing us, man. Because 1 minute is one thing, and the next minute is another in this place, man. But the only thing that keeps us on a solid, balanced ground is these scriptures. That's why we do what we do, man. We're not necessarily loving coming out here in the highways and byways. It's just a part of us. It's our work release program, man. Spiritually, this is how we get out of jail, man. This is how we get from off of these chains. Go ahead, Al. You got it. Y'all brothers got a piece
I got two quick
Nah,
ones.
you got it.
All right, the first one is Sirach, chapter 25, verses 24 and 25. All right, Sirach 25, verse 24. Of the woman came the beginning of sin, all right, through Eve, and through her we all died. So because of Eve, taking on that fruit, so to speak, listening to the serpent, which was an actual man in the garden, not an actual snake wiggling around. Okay, he was a witch. Through Eve, listening to his witchcraft in deceit and taking on to that spiritual fruit, so to speak. We all die because now we commit sin. It says, verse 25, give the water no passage, neither a wicked woman liberty to gad abroad. So in this society, this westernized, Americanized society, wicked women are given all the liberties and the rights to gad abroad. Okay, to sleep with however many men they want to sleep with, to commit abortions. Okay, to kick their man out of the house. To get divorced from their man. Okay, just to give with another man. Okay, and all these different things. Okay, you're not supposed to have set up a society that gives women that type of liberty, because it all brings forth what? Sin, which leads up to what? Death. Okay, confusion. All right, and destruction of the family structure, and so on and so forth. Basically leads to anti-Messiah energy. All right, now this is the second scripture that I have. This is Proverbs chapter 12, verse 26. The righteous is more excellent than his neighbor, but the way of the wicked seduceth them. Okay, now here it is. Abortion, it's a way of the heathen. Going all the way back to the Hamites. In particular the Canaanites. All right, because the scripture speaks about in Wisdom of Solomon 12, those old inhabitants of the land, which were the Canaanites. That is, it talks about how they were merciless murderers of children. Okay, and through their wicked left hand priesthood, they sacrificed children and sacrificed humans. Okay, to their wicked left hand gods, so on and so forth. Okay, to worship their Satan and whatnot. And now here it is. Those ways have now trickled down onto our people. Which are meant to be the righteous. We've been seduced by the ways of the wicked. Now, real quick, when you go into this word seduced, and ironically, I was reading that scripture earlier this morning. When you go into this word seduced, all right, Strong's H8582, it says, ta'ah, and it says to err, wander, go astray, stagger. All right, it says to wander about. Here's the main banger. It says of intoxication,
Right.
of intoxication, that wine.
Yeah.
All right, you got it out.
That's what happened, man. Back in Genesis 3rd chapter, man. All right, I'm gonna read it real quick. Genesis 3:1. I'm gonna read down 4.
Mm-hmm.
Genesis 3:1. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field. Serpent going back into Esau, Edom. When you go into Revelation 12:7, it says what? That old serpent, man, was cast down. It's talking about Esau, Edom, man, a nation of people. So the Most High is parabolic. He uses things like serpent, trees, to symbolize nations of people, man. Different philosophies. Get on Habakkuk 2:15. It says, and he said unto the woman, yea, hath the Most High said, ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden, being subtile. That's why we have to be girded up in these laws, statutes, and commandments, because this system, this devil, he's very subtile. Sirach 12:10, man. He'll come in and say, oh, you can leave. Abortion's illegal. Don't worry about it. Go out and just, whatever you want to do, you can do it. If you have a child, you don't feel like keeping it, go out. And in a second breath, he'll say, now it's legal. Now it's illegalized. Now you can't do it anymore. That's a double-tongued devil, man. That's a serpent. That's a snake, man. It says, and the woman said unto the serpent, we may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden. That's right. And it says, verse 3, but of the fruit which is in the midst of the tree, which goes into what? These different nations, all right? Because I believe it tells you in Judges, like Judges 9, I looked up and saw trees as men walking, man. That's talking about other nations and their philosophies, man. So Esau was coming with different philosophies of these other nations, of his nation, man. Going off, trying to present it to our nation and defile us, man. All right? And that's what he's doing to this day, man. But it says, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, the Most High has said, ye shall not eat of it, neither yet shall ye touch it, lest ye die, man. So we know at that time, pertaining, I believe, Genesis, the 4th chapter, all right? There was more than one people on the planet Earth, man, at that time. So the Most High said, look, man, these other nations, these other trees, these other doctrines of philosophy, don't go into them and start taking apart their customs, man, because you're going to defile yourself and you're going to render yourself in a bad case with me, who's dealing with you, man, because the Most High is dealing with directly with the nation of Israel, the elect. So if we start going and dealing with these other nations, we become an adulterer, a fornicator, man. But it says, last point, it says, and the serpent said unto the woman, ye shall not surely die. Ye shall not surely die, man. So with all these things, we were given an enlightenment on what laws and statutes to follow, man. But Eve, like the brother read out, she was deceived, man. All right. I believe it's written in a place that tells you, from her we all die, man. From her came the beginning of sin, and we all die, man. It's talking about Eve, man. That transgression came from her being defiled and beguiled, man, by Esau and his system. So now it's being played out in 2022, the year of the turn up, man. Eve that has been beguiled by the system, whole time living in liberty, being careless, having everything afforded to her in the system, having power over us, man. Now, that wine that she's drinking is backfired on her, man. But not only has it backfired on her lover, Esau, But the Most High is controlling everything, man. So you ultimately pissed the Most High off, Eve. You're going to be destroyed for it. But you got it out.
Just the rest of the definitions off of that word seducing from Proverbs 12:26.
I'm gonna bring it out. You don't mind?
Yeah, that's cool.
It's Strong's H8 8582.
H8582.
Ta'ah. It says to err, wander, go astray, to stagger. All right, to wander about physically, of intoxication, of sin, and that's what happened to us after we transgressed in the garden, man. We wandered about. All right, we were intoxicated. All right, we were cut off, man. But it says, wandering of the mind, to be made to wander about, made to be staggered, to be led astray ethically. Now, ethically on this side, 2/3 of our people, they're led astray ethically, which goes into basically morally, man. Morally, they're led astray. Morally, our people uphold Esau's system, and they downplay the Most High system, man. They uphold, just because Esau says, okay, well, in this society, cases like Roe v. Wade, Brown versus Board of Education, that's what Jake worships. That's what Jake holds his life to, man, and clings to. But the Most High don't care about the doctrines of men and the decrees of Esau. But it says to cause to wonder about, to cause to wonder, to cause to err, mislead. It says deceive, to reel or stray, to go astray, to err, to wander, to be out of the way. See, there's some more. To go astray, a very rare occurrence. Err, to be followed by, to go astray with strong drink, to be reeling thin, man. That's what Esau has done to our people. He's thrown out that line, but guess what? We throw out a line too, don't we?
Yeah.
We throw out a line of righteousness, and we reel in the lost sheep. Esau, he throws out a line of feminism, Moism, legalized abortions, and what? He reels 2/3 of our people in, man. That's why we see the makeup of this society. You got Esau, Edom on top. You got Eve above the male. And you got 2/3 of our people just trying to be crabs in a bucket, trying to get up in the society, man. But you got it out.
Hey, and after I'm a while, I got a precept to back up what you just said about how they reel men in through their wickedness and their seductions. After you, Hawk.
All right, this is Habakkuk 2:15. It says, woe unto him that giveth his neighbor drink, that putteth the bottle to him, and maketh him drunken also, that thou mayest look on his nakedness, man. All right, and that's Esau Edom, man. He does that through what? The culture, man. All right, which he set up. All right, he set up the culture vultures, man. Yeah. All right, to destroy our people, man. All right, to push out that vibration of the Plan B, taking Plan Bs, being a thug, being a thought. All right, all these things that destroy our people as a nation, man. He pushes that out there. He pushes that out there, and then our people swallow it up, man. All right, they swallow up those philosophies, man. They want to be like that. All right, and then what? The accused of thy brother, man. He said, look what they're doing, Most High. Like, they ain't no good, man. Are these really your people? You know? All right, look at their actions.
Shalom, Mike, you want to comment, boy?
Shalom.
Hey, and think about it, we talk about this all the time. Me and the brother Amwaz, the brother Manya, from the apostles on down to the least of us. The whole culture, when you think of black culture, it was set up by Esau, man.
Yeah.
The ways of black culture, the mindset, even the goals.
That's up.
They're set up by Esau, man.
Yeah.
Y'all brothers got to speak.
Because if I can say this, man, there's photos out there where they have these different CEOs of these companies like Interscope, you know, these different music companies, even entertainers, man. They tell these people, the entertainers, like whether it be the people that push the BS with, like in the movies where you have a man wearing a dress.
Yeah.
All right. Whether it be a music artist that tell you to kill your fellow brother.
Right.
And they sit up, they go to them and they tell them, well, look, this is what I want you to push, and if you don't push it, then you're breaking your contract.
Right.
Right.
And that's why you see a lot of jakes on these interviews, Vlad TV, and they'll say, "Oh well, there's some stuff I can't speak on. The gatekeepers, the higher ups, hip hop police. Who's the hip hop police, man? If hip hop is full of degenerates and niggas and wicked, abominable adulterers, who's the hip hop police? That's Esau, man. Esau is filtering and monitoring the black culture to make sure you're meeting his criteria, man. And his criteria is you can get promoted for wearing a dress. You get promoted for wearing lipstick. You get promoted for defiling your people. If you continue to push rape, rob, and murder, that's how you're going to get your next deal. That's how you get your $20 million deal. That's how you get your shoe deal. That's how you get your clothing deal, man. We hip to you, Esau. We know the shit you push on our people, and they push it on us. That's why we don't follow this hip hop culture, man. We won't follow this rap culture, man. We hear these rap songs, and we was talking about a while back, like we hear certain things in rap songs, and that alludes to the scriptures. Like Jacob be talking about, oh, I love this woman and that's and that. I went after her. I'll do anything for her. We hear stuff like that, and we say we apply that to wisdom. We love wisdom. We run after wisdom. We chase wisdom, man. So we don't hear these rap songs and these different songs like you Jake's here, man. We hear it in a different tune, man. You got it, bro.
And these rappers are getting shot down left to right.
Yeah, man.
Dropping like flies. Because they all ultimately they all getting judged by Yahweh Shemal Shai. You know, Yahweh Shemal Shai is not down with this whole black culture rap shit, man. But this is a precept, well, really to back up both of y'all brothers, okay? Because y'all was going into how, you know, Esau, you know, reels our people in, you know, by seducing them with, you know, with these wicked ways and these wicked customs,
right,
to ultimately get our people, you know, drunken off of that, you know, that wine, so to speak, you know, the wine of his wickedness and fornication. All right, this is you know, also in the book of Habakkuk, chapter 1, and I'm gonna start at verse 13. It says, Thou art of purer eyes than to behold evil, and canst not look on iniquity. Wherefore lookest thou upon them that deal treacherously, and holdest thy tongue when the wicked devoureth the man that is more righteous than he? Okay, so basically, you know, Ezra is pleading to the Lord, asking the Lord, why are you sitting back and holding back your tongue against the wicked that's devouring the righteous? Okay, so now verse 14, and makest men as the fishes of the sea, as the creeping things that have no rule over them. Yeah, and that's basically how how the elites of Esau Edom look at the overall masses of the people. Okay, they look at people as fishes, you know, as animals, you know, as useless eaters, like they say.
right.
Okay.
Because when you see a school of fish on the water or in an aquarium, you're like, hey, you knock on that window and they just go wherever, man. They have no rule about themselves, man. They have no mind. That's how Esau sees, and he loves. Look at the Tuskegee experiment. Look at different experiments that Esau conducts on our people, man. Just to say, you're not an entire. Look at the Constitution, man. Going back to Roe v. Wade, 3/5 of a human being, man. Esau don't see you as a whole person, Jake, and he's the base man in the situation. He's the base man, but yet he sees you as 3/5 of a human being. You got it. That was a good point, bro.
Habakkuk 1 and 14 again, and makest men as the fishes of the sea, as the creeping things that have no rule over them. Verse 15, they take up all of them in the angle, in which the angle is like a, you know, like a fishing hook, you know, a fishing hook basically. It says, verse 15, they take up all of them with the angle, they catch them in their net. And what is their net? It's not talking about a literal physical net, but rather it's talking about, you know, their propaganda, okay, you know, the things that they put in the news, the things that they put before our people in the form of black culture and the rap culture and trap music and all this other stuff. You know, it's all to put you in a net, okay, and all those things that I just mentioned are the hook. Okay, here's, as a matter of fact, you know, why you think in rap songs you have a thing known as what? Hooks and bars.
Yeah.
You know, the hook the hook being what? The chorus.
Con,
You know, the chorus of the song, because the chorus of the song is the thing that's the most catchy of the song.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
you'll be thinking of a song, but the main thing you'll be thinking about is the chorus.
The hook. Yep.
Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
It'll stay in your mind all day.
Yeah.
You'll be singing it in a shower.
Yep. Yep.
It says,
Hey, if I can say too, like when you about that angle when you fishing,
yeah.
when you go out to get fish, it's strategic in a way.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You go out at a certain time of day.
Yep.
You don't go out. You don't go out and catch fish at certain times where you like, man, the fish ain't out right now.
Yeah.
You go out at certain times. You might get up early, or you might go real late, later in the night. You get your certain bait, right?
Mhm.
You can even have a certain fish that you're targeting, maybe, possibly, right?
Right.
Oh, I'm gonna get this type of fish. This type of fish is good eating. This type of fish is unclean. This type of fish. That's how Esau thinks on the left hand side. Even these certain days, down to the days and the hours that these things are decreed, they're all calculated, man. Esau didn't put this thing out on Friday, the 24th, the 22nd for nothing, man. This is all calculated, man. Esau is doing this to push his agenda away, man. And then back to that fishing, when you get that fish on the hook, you might have to struggle with it a little bit.
Yeah.
So you might have to put a net out there. While you got the hook out there already, you might have to take another net and try to get them in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what Esau does.
Yeah, if I can help the brother say a little, some other things like this as well. Like some lures require you. Some lures or like philosophies that Esau might use.
Mhm.
He might cast it out there. It might be a top lure, so it might only work on a certain particular type of fish.
Yeah.
Or it might require you to like jig it. You know what I mean? Like kind of little. Like pull it a little bit to get their attention, man. So that's Esau and his philosophy.
Get their attention.
So,
Yeah.
hey, that's a beautiful analogy. That's right.
Hey, the scriptures, man. Hey,
Yeah.
when the Lord put the spirit on, when the Lord put the spirit on the prophets to say certain things, like even though he uses a lot of carnal things to make spiritual points, but like it's poetic,
Yeah, it is.
and it
Very
takes
much.
wisdom to understand the things that the prophets were saying in these scriptures, because the prophet Habakkuk, he's likening the wicked unto fishers, casting their net to the to the fish, which in this case, he's likening the fish to the overall masses of the people.
That's right.
And
fishermen are very smart.
Yeah.
A good fisherman is very smart, man. He'll come back home with, and fishes are, somewhat slow, somewhat, you know what I mean, easy to be caught. That's why you got fishermen. They come back with a mess of fish. They call it a mess of fish. Got all type of fish, man, throughout the day. Just catching them, baiting them in, man. That's what the system does. You got it. I got one after y'all.
Habakkuk 1 verse 15, they take up all of them with the angle, they catch them in their nets and gather them in their drag. Therefore they rejoice and are glad. And these elites, when they get Jake hooked onto whatever wickedness they want, pushed on Jake, whether it be the gangster rap culture, the alphabet culture, feminism, all these things, they get glad because because when our people get involved in all these different lifestyles, it ultimately keeps us disconnected from our power. Okay, and it keeps the wicked elites of Esau Edom in power over us. All right, so verse 16, and this is the last verse. Verse 16, therefore they sacrifice unto their nets and burn incense unto their drag. So once they get the ones of our people hooked on Khan, whenever these Edomites get our people hooked on to the to all of their wickedness, okay, they basically make a sacrifice out of our people. You know, it says, therefore they sacrifice unto their net and burn incense unto their drag, because by them their portion is fat and their meat plenteous. Okay, so basically, just as we as the hopeful elect of the Lord, the hopeful men of the Lord, just as we're fishers of men on the right hand side, because what did Yahushua tell Peter? Basically put down your hooks, for I will make you a fisher of men, right? Well, just like just as we're fishers of men, fishing for the elect on the right hand side, well, the elites of Esau Edom are fishers of men on the left hand side. You know, they fish out men, you know, through propaganda and wickedness, and you know, and things like that. But that was it on that. You brothers,
Right,
right?
bro. I got one.
I want to.
You got it, bro. You
All right.
before me.
This is Colossians 2 and 8. It says, "Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophies and vain deceits, after the tradition of men, after the rudiments of the world, and not after Yahushua Mashiach," man. All right. So beware of all these different things that Esau trying to push out there. All right. These different try to lure, lures. All right. To try to pull you in into his trap, man. All right. And not after what? It says not after Yahushua Mashiach, man. All right. So if it doesn't feel well within the spirit, man, don't do it, man. All right, stay away from it, man. All right, anything that he pushes can't be good. All right, anything he pushes is contrary to the Lord, man. So he's not gonna do that anyway.
That's right.
All right.
That's right. Even this new wine, man. They got new wine going on out here, saying different things, coming up against the apostles and elders, man. We're not taking heed to that, man. All right. When you have a body, right? You got a body. A healthy body has order in that body. And if something comes within the body that's disorderly, unruly, what does the body do? It rejects it, man. And we've seen it. Most recently speaking, but this is Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 1. It says, "Woe to her that is filthy and polluted to the oppressive city." It's talking about Esau, Edom, Babylon, the great America, all right? But this is the point. Verse 2, it says, "She obeyed not the voice, she received not the correction, she trusted not in the Lord, she drew not near to her power." And backing up the brother's fishing analogies, when you cast that line out, you drawing something back in, right? So we're being drawn back into our power, man. We're drawing others back into our power. 2/3 of our people, they're being drawn into the system, being devoured, being brought in. And then we see it time and time for Jake. We see, okay, well, Jake talking a little, Jake saying some righteous, you know what I mean? Jake got a little integrity about himself, and Jake start waxing worse. Oh, he getting drawn in. Jake start dyeing his hair, start going off, start bugging out, start taking heed to all these new philosophies and new wine, and we see clearly whose side you've been drawn in by, man. Whose bait you have taken and bit, man. That was it. I couldn't get into it. Take it. Lord willing, all right, this message has been edifying. We're already facing the east. We're going to give infinite honors and praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Harakakadash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well and are worthy of that double honors. Peace and blessing to you, Aki, pushing out this truth across the four corners during these last sections of time. Kwam Yasha'Allah,
Kwam Yasha'Allah,
Baba Baba,
Baba Baba,
Shalom.
Shalom.
See you, Aki, on the highways tomorrow, Lord willing. Shalom.